What up, though? Your boy Meech, aka the CI Saint. Hope everyone's doing well. Time for another fragrance video, and today we're going to talk about the top 10 fragrances in my collection per Fragrantica. Let's get into it. All right, so as I stated in the intro, today we're going to be talking about the top 10 fragrances in my collection on the designer niche side per Fragrantica, the 10 highest rated fragrances. Now, I took all of my full bottle designer and niche fragrances, no decants, no samples, just full bottles, put them on a spreadsheet, went to Fragrantica and logged each fragrance's rating, and then I sorted the list to come up with this top 10. Now, those of you that aren't familiar with Fragrantica, kind of like an encyclopedia of fragrances, gives you notes, of course, lets you know what other people think of the fragrances through ratings, things of that nature. So I know most of you guys are familiar with Fragrantica, but maybe somebody out here watching who's not. So let's get into things. First things first, let's talk about the average rating of my entire designer niche collection, because I'm very proud of this. The average rating was a 4.2 out of 5. I think that is pretty solid considering, right? But before we get into the top 10, I'm going to give you guys the 5 lowest rated fragrances in my collection. I'm going to breeze through these really quick just to have a little bit of fun. Now, coming in at the fifth worst rating with a 3.95 out of 5 was Tommy Hilfiger's Impact. This is essentially kind of like a citric, woody fragrance with an ambery dry down. This is a nice fragrance. Could be a daily driver. My daughter actually gifted this for me for Christmas this past Christmas, so I'll always keep it. I just moved her into college yesterday too, so I'm still in my feels. I should wear this just to feel closer to her, but this is a solid fragrance. 3.95, might as well round it up to 4, but this was the 5th worst rated fragrance in my collection. In the 4th spot was a classic with a 3.92, and that's Nautica Voyage. This has a lot of ratings though, like over 10,000 ratings on Fragrantica, so the chances are the averages are going to be lower, but 3.92 still not bad for this fresh aquatic fragrance. It's a cheapy Hall of Famer in my opinion. You can get it for like 20 bucks. Nautica Voyage. In the 3rd worst spot, this was a bit of a surprise. This is a niche fragrance and newer to my collection from the house of Atat Libre d'Orange. This is Remarkable People. I think the average for this one was a 3, or the rating was a 3.91. This is like cardamom, grapefruit, and champagne. I love the way this smells. Very classy, very elegant, but not one of the highest rated fragrances in my collection. The lowest rated niche fragrance in my entire collection, but I think it smells good anyway. But Remarkable People by Atat Libre d'Orange. The 2nd worst rated fragrance in my collection. Let's go ahead and get number 2 and number 1 here real quick. 3.88 was the rating for the 2nd worst fragrance in my collection, and that's Davidoff's Cool Water. Classic, right? I think if this was 1995, this would probably be in the top 10, because Snoop Dogg told us he had the Johnson Baby Powder and the Cool Water Cologne. I still think it's good though. A green, fresh aromatic fragrance. I just have this little 40 ml I bought from Burlington like a year or so ago, just for nostalgia's sake. Still smells nice, but 2nd lowest rated, Davidoff's Cool Water. And the lowest rated designer niche fragrance in my collection as it stands right now. A little unfair because this came out just a few months ago. It only has like 90 something votes on Fragrantica, but it comes in at a 3.87, and that's Drakkar Blue by Guy Laroche. I actually like this. I bought it blind. I paid $35 for it on Amazon. It's a blue fragrance, very aromatic, very shower gelish. There's an apple accord in here. Smells like what you would envision a Drakkar Blue fragrance to smell like. It's kind of mature, and maybe for that reason, it wasn't very highly rated. I think as this gets more votes, it'll probably get over at least like the 4 mark, I think. Maybe. We'll see. But Drakkar Blue, as it stands right now, the lowest rated full bottle designer niche fragrance in my, or designer or niche fragrance in my collection. We're going to go ahead and get into the top 10 right now. All right, let's get into the top 10 highest rated fragrances in my collection. At the number 10 spot, with a rating of 4.39 out of 5 on Fragrantica. This one's a little bit of a shocker because it's a cheapie, but it's pretty decent. This is Bogas Vibrant Leather Summer by Zara. I recently posted a first impressions review of this fragrance on my channel. It's pretty much a fruity, sweet, kind of aquatic, ozonic fragrance with an ambery, sweet dry down. There's a prominent watermelon note in the fragrance. There's pineapple here as well, and amber, where it's kind of sticky, but this is like a $40 fragrance. You can buy it on Zara's website. Great for the summer, great for the high heat, running errands, grab and go, the gym. Definitely gives you like a kind of vacation poolside, even beach vibe with the fruity notes in here. This is solid. I was surprised that it was rated so highly. It's not personally in my top 10, but it's a nice summer cheapie, nice pickup that I made this year. This is Bogas Vibrant Leather Summer. All right, at the number 9 spot with a 4.4 out of 5 rating on Fragrantica, we have Armani Code Parfum. Now, this one, I can kind of see this one being highly rated because it's very good. It's a woody aromatic fragrance centered around this powdery iris note. I think you get a little bit of mandarin in here as a top note as well. This is definitely a versatile fragrance that I kind of wear 3 seasons, fall, winter, and spring. It's a compliment getter. It is a very attractive scent, so I definitely can see why this one is highly rated. It is one of those kings of versatility in my collection, and it's rated 9th best by Fragrantica. Again, this is Armani Code Parfum. All right, the number 8 fragrance also has a 4.4 out of 5 rating on Fragrantica. I smelled this fragrance for the first time at a duty-free in Puerto Rico back in July. I went to Puerto Rico to celebrate my birthday. I came home literally like the day after I came home. I immediately bought this fragrance from the house of Cartier. This is Pacha de Cartier Parfum. This is the first time I am talking about this fragrance on my channel, but this is outstanding. This is an Unk fragrance though, for sure. It is a modern fougere style of fragrance. This is not probably going to appeal to the younger crowd, but it is woody, it's balsamic, it's spicy, it's aromatic. It has a liquor accord in here, so there's a boozy aspect to this fragrance, but this is grown man personified. The quality on this is so good. I gotta shout out my man Bob because he was waving the banner for this fragrance. He told me I needed to check it out, and when I did, I almost bought it at the duty free and paid full retail for it, but had to come to myself and say, hold on, chill, bro. Wait till you get home, buy it from a discounter, and I did. Really good stuff, man. I'll be talking about this more down the road on my channel. Again, this is Pacha de Cartier Parfum. All right, the number 7 fragrance has a rating of 4.43 out of 5 on Fragrantica. Very surprising, but this is the fragrance that started it all for me. We're talking about Cremos, Spice, and Black Vanilla. I was really surprised that this was in the top 10, but this is the fragrance that introduced the Sillage Saint to the world, if you will. This is the fragrance that kind of got me into the world of Fragcom. I saw this fragrance like in a Walmart or Target or something. Came back home, went to YouTube to watch a review, and Darren the Bowtie Fragrance Guy's review on this fragrance prompted me to buy it. Ended up ordering this off of Amazon, and the rest is history. I started watching videos and ultimately started creating content. So this fragrance is the catalyst for all of this. But spicy vanillic scent will remind you of Spice Bomb Extreme. That is the vibe this definitely gives. I still think this is a quality cheapie, good stuff. You can get it for like 20 to 25 bucks these days, and it's perfect as we are transitioning into the fall weather months. I think it's perfect for that time of year for sure. Again, this is Cremo, Spice, and Black Vanilla. All right, the number 6 fragrance per Fragrantica also had a 4.43 out of 5 rating, and quite frankly, this could be higher than number 6 because it is top 5 in my entire collection. We're talking about Bleu de Chanel Parfum. Absolute banger, king of versatility. I can wear this anytime, any place, any occasion. It is going to work. Obviously, it's a citric, woody, aromatic fragrance that garners compliments and attention. One of my homeboys just texted me today, said he wore this in the doctor's office and the people in there were going crazy. It definitely is a compliment getter. It is an outstanding scent. Should be higher than 6 in my opinion, but it's 6 per Fragrantica. Again, this is Bleu de Chanel Parfum. All right, we're getting into the top 5 with the next fragrance. Fragrantica rated this a 4.44 out of 5, and this is a date night king in my collection. We're talking about Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privé. I don't know why I bought this fragrance so late. I just bought this fragrance like in February. It's been out for like 3 years, and I'm super late to the party on this one. But man, spicy, woody, boozy, and that iris. This is sexy, sexy stuff. This was one of my go-tos earlier, in the year when it was still cold, for evenings out, date nights. It's a huge compliment getter. This is definitely one of those ones. I can see why it's in the top 5. It's pretty good stuff, no doubt. Again, this is Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privé. All right, coming in at the number 4 spot, this fragrance has a 4.45 out of 5 rating on Fragrantica. It is a quintessential daytime fragrance. We're talking about the classic Prada L'Homme. This is so good. This is fresh. It's clean. Of course, you get that iris. You get the spice. You get the freshness from like lavender or neroli or both. This is just such a good fragrance. Like I said, kind of a quintessential daytime fragrance. Perfect for the office. Perfect for daytime wear. Fresh and clean, and no doubt, deserving of being in the top 10. I think this is really good stuff. Again, this is Prada L'Homme. All right, at the number 3 spot, we have a fragrance that rated a 4.48 out of 5 on Fragrantica, and it is still, to this day, my favorite vanilla fragrance in my collection from the house of Mercedes-Benz. This is Mercedes-Benz Club Black. I absolutely love this fragrance. It was after I did all my Cremo Spice and Vanilla research. This is one of the first hype beast fragrances that I heard about in Fragcom. I bought it blind, and it was love at first smell. I absolutely love this vanilla bomb. There's incense, there's ambroxan, there's benzoin in here as well, but this is mainly vanilla. Love it in the fall and winter. Evenings out, it definitely is a vibe. Still my favorite vanilla scent, and I've come across many since I got this, but this is still number 1 for me. And number 3, per Fragrantica, Mercedes-Benz Club Black. All right, we talked about Prada L'Homme being the quintessential daytime fragrance. The fragrance here at the number 2 spot, in my opinion, the quintessential date night fragrance. We're talking about the one EDP by Dolce & Gabbana, and I got the big boy. And shout out to my man Goldie, because the dent don't lie, and it never did. This one averages out at a 4.49 on Fragrantica, so very high rating, and this has lots of votes, like well over 10,000 votes. So to still average this high with that many votes, very impressive. This is just spicy, ambery, a little sweet, a little tobacco. This is just sexy stuff. That orange blossom in here definitely shines bright. You're talking about a fragrance for evenings out. It's almost like the perfect date night fragrance. It is so well done. This is definitely deserving of being at least in the top 10. Number 2 might be high, but it's definitely deserving of the top 10. It's an absolute banger. Again, this is the one EDP by Dolce & Gabbana. All right, and coming in at the number 1 spot is actually the only niche fragrance to even make it into the top 10. If you notice, all of the previous 9 fragrances were all designer fragrances, which when you're talking about Fragrantica, right, kind of makes sense. Designer fragrances are a bit more mass appealing, so people are going to probably rate those higher than some niche fragrances that may be a little challenging. This one, though, not really challenging at all. It has a 4.57 rating out of 5 on Fragrantica. A little bit surprising that this is the fragrance, but it is. From the house of Michael Malul, we have Ocean Noir. Now, I really like this fragrance. It smells fantastic. It's an aquatic blue fragrance. My only gripe is I don't get the best performance out of this scent, but you get notes in here like tangelo, coconut. I think there's like some aromatics in here. It's definitely an aquatic, kind of deep blue sea aquatic accord. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like what I get from like Azzaro Chrome Extreme, or what you might get from something like Acqua di Gio Profondo. It kind of has that kind of deep blue sea deep kind of, or blue kind of feel, if that makes sense. Very kind of aquatic, you know what I'm saying, blue fragrance. Good stuff. Like I said, I dial up the sprays because the performance has been lackluster in my few wearings of this, but apparently the people out there like this fragrance. It is the highest rated full bottle designer niche fragrance in my collection. Again, this is Ocean Noir by Michael Malul. Well, there you have it, guys. The best and some of the worst designer niche fragrances in my collection. This was really fun to do. I am going to do a part 2 of this video with my inspired by / clone collection. That one will be really fun. I'm really excited about doing that, so be on the lookout for that one very soon. Be sure to check out my social media for more. Please like and subscribe on whatever social media platform you're watching this on. That will be greatly appreciated. If you happen to go on Fragrantica, plug in a couple of your fragrances and throw it in the comment section. What are some of your highest rated fragrances in your collection? I love to hear about it. It's your boy Meech. aka the Sillage Saint. Until next time, take care. Peace.